Welcome everyone, I'm Tatley-Grund, president of Tatley-Grund. SWRI was founded in 1976, and we pride ourselves in being the most respected source of knowledge in the sealant, waterproofing, and restoration industry. Tatley-Grund's been a member of SWRI since 2012, and I serve on the board of directors. Today, you'll be watching Tatley-Grund's safety director, Mike Wiley, perform a fall protection harness drop test. This video is part of SWRI's virtual spring series that started back in January of this year. Our monthly virtual spring series sessions have provided insights, sharing of best practices, and guidance to help with your business. This week marks OSHA's 8th annual Safety Stand-Down Week to prevent falls in construction. As most of us know, the #1 cause of serious injury and fatalities in the construction industry is falls. We encourage all of our members to watch the video and share that with all of their employees to participate in this year's National Safety Stand-Down. Mike?
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Wiley, Safety Director for Tatley-Grund. This afternoon, we're going to be demonstrating the importance of limiting the fall during a fall accident. When we're working with fall protection equipment, a lot of times we don't recognize the need for limiting that fall distance. A lot of mistakes are made when utilizing equipment with vertical lifelines. This can be in the form of using 6-foot lanyards on a rope grab on vertical lifelines and letting that rope grab droop below your back. This would extend your fall beyond that 6-foot free fall distance that OSHA requires us to limit within. It also engages a reaction in the fall that can create very large amounts of force being applied to the body. So paying attention to these limiting factors and making sure that we're watching where our rope grabs are and making sure we're using the proper equipment when we're working at heights can be particularly important, and it can save your life or protect you from being injured in the future. The first demonstration that we're going to be showing you today is a user using a 6-foot lanyard on a rope grab on a vertical lifeline. Now, in this case, using a 6-foot lanyard on any type of vertical lifeline system is not within the ANSI code or ANSI standards is recommended practices. The reason for that is that the maximum fall extent is greater than 6 feet if that rope grab ever droops below your back D-ring. In this case, the user has allowed that rope grab to droop about 24 inches below his back D-ring. And as you see in this video, when the user falls, he falls not 6 feet, but 8 feet of free fall. The force applied to his body is well over 1,300 pounds. And at this force, that particular person could be injured or become unconscious if he were to encounter any outside objects such as a swing stage or pump jack equipment. In this second demonstration, we're showing the use of the proper equipment, which is a 3-foot lanyard on a vertical lifeline, used improperly though. The idea of using a 3-foot lanyard is, even though we use it improperly, is still within the recommended guidelines of ANSI and OSHA with a 6-foot free fall. Although using this lanyard improperly and allowing it to go below the back D-ring of your harness allows for a greater fall distance. In this case, the user has allowed it to drop 24 inches. With a 3-foot lanyard, that extends out to 5 feet of free fall. Now we see a fall limiting factor of 5 feet, which is well within the 6 feet guideline of OSHA and ANSI. But with that being said, the force applied to the body is still well over 1,000 pounds. Now, taking that into account in the force that is applied to the body, the idea is that when we limit our falls, we have less force applied to the body and less cause for injury. In this third demonstration, we drop tested using equipment properly within the recommended guidelines of ANSI and OSHA. As you see, the rope grab is above the user's back D-ring, and the fall is limited to less than 2 feet, the 3-foot lanyard. This makes the fall not very forceful on the body. As we've seen on the load cell, we only have about 600 pounds of force applied to the body when the user fell at this distance. When we can limit the falls, we can save lives and prevent injuries. It's important to note that ANSI and OSHA guidelines recommend that with vertical lifelines, we use a lanyard that is less than 36 inches. This guideline is there because the maximum free fall potential with any lanyard longer than that would be greater than 6 feet. And we always go off maximums in the safety world. Maximum free fall distance with a 6-foot lanyard can be up to 12 feet of free fall. So we've seen 1,300 pounds of force being applied to the body at 8 feet. We can only imagine what the force would be applied at 12 feet of free fall. Other things to note are the free fall distance can exacerbate the total fall distance that a user experiences. As we've seen with the 6-foot lanyard, although the free fall distance was 8 feet and the expansion pack expanded about 2 feet, the rope stretch is also a consideration when working at heights. Depending on what type of rope or what height of the building we're working at, the average rope stretch is 2.5 feet per 100 feet. So if you're on, for example, a 400-foot building with 2.5 feet of rope stretch per 100 feet, you have about 10 feet of rope stretch. And then if we account for using the wrong type of lanyard with a shock pack, we can account for another 12 to 18 feet of fall distance applied to that fall, for a total fall distance of about 24 to 36 feet on a 400-foot building. This can mean that a worker's on the 3rd floor doing his work, falls out of the swing stage and hits the ground before being lifted back up off the ground and suspended from their harness. We could see how this can create significant situations for our workers to be injured or killed while working at heights. Most commonly in our industry, these situations happen when we're working on swing stages. We're working on swing stages, we're using vertical lifelines and rope grabs. A lot of users like those longer lanyards to work their way around the swing stages more easily, but forget about paying attention to that lanyard or managing that rope grab above their back dorsal D-ring. So, if we use the wrong equipment, that being a 6-foot lanyard, 48-inch lanyard, or something greater than 36 inches, all we're doing is extenuating that fall distance. It's recommended practices to create a situation where a user experiencing fall distance no greater than 6 feet at all times. In order for a 6-foot lanyard to be appropriate while working on a swing stage, the user would have to constantly manage that rope grab above their dorsal D-ring. Since this is an impossibility in our industry, a 6-foot lanyard would most likely just get you in trouble with federal regulators or put your worker in a situation where they could be endangered. With that being said, I highly recommend that we look at our equipment, we pay attention to what we're purchasing, and we use the equipment the proper way. Limiting a fall can save lives, and it's important to note that when we limit the fall, we reduce the risk for injury and death. Thank you for your time. We hope this video helps you do your part in preventing fall injuries and deaths in the construction industry. We urge you and your company to participate in this year's National Safety Stand Down Week and do your part to keeping our industry safe. More stand down resources can be found at swrionline.org/standdown. Plus, SWR Institute offers many other safety resources which can be found at swrionline.org/safety. Thank you and have a good afternoon.